Welcome, and good morning. Good morning to all our viewers. Last week started daylight savings, so we're coming to you 10 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Mountain Time. I'm Coach Chef. This is the Chicago Clubhouse Network, Chicago Bears pregame show. Good morning to all. We're entering week 10. Our Bears are 4-4, fortunately and unfortunately. And we're just going to go ahead and get it started. We're at home versus the Bears are at home versus the New England Patriots. And, we'll go from there. So, without further ado, oh, by the way, if you didn't know, Diab Muhammad, Coach Shelf, to all who are new and those who are not new to the show and to the network, welcome. Don't forget to hit a like and subscribe when you're viewing us. Helps with the algorithm. And if you're watching, it doesn't take any effort for you to hit the like button. So, once again, without further ado, let me bring on one of my co-hosts. That will be our man, the vet of the group, Amp.
Hey, good morning, Coach Chef.
What's good, big homie?
How you doing, bro? Oh, man.
Could be better,
Living the
could
dream,
be worse.
Living
So,
the dream.
I'm just going to stay baseline, man. Had my Friday at work, which was yesterday. My Friday, how we say in the industry, your Fridays, whatever day is your last day of the week, was a shit show. So I had to hit a local bar up and get me some Gentleman Jack and a beer just to soothe out the day before I came to the crib. So it's all right. I'm doing better today. Be doing better once the Bears get a win, hopefully. How about yourself?
Oh, man, I'm living the dream, baby.
I can imagine you retired dude, man.
Man, I am. I'm. I'm being facetious. Listening to this all week. What's going on with the Bears all week? It's kind of disheartening, man. But it's got a familiar feel to it. You know what I mean?
Fortunately, and most
we'll
definitely,
get into
unfortunately,
we'll get into that though. Yeah.
The Bears are what we thought they were. They're what we thought they were.
Pretty much.
I don't know, but yeah, we'll get into it. So yeah, let's just start it right now with a review, of last week's game, week 9 at Arizona. I and our producer today, Crooked Commish. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you,
YouTuber.
Good morning. Don't see. Let's get on train back on track. Let's hopefully. Thank you for watching us on Facebook. If you would like us to shout you out personally, don't be afraid to come on and view us on YouTube. That way, your profile will pop up. People can see who you are. We can shout you out by name. To continue though, let's do a quick rundown of what we saw, unfortunately, at Arizona. Before we break that down, I would say shout out to my man Crooked Commish for inviting me and my family down. We did a little tailgating at what do they call it, Allstate Stadium or something in Arizona. I don't know, where the Cardinals play their home games. And I don't know if you've been to Arizona, Amp, but bro, the Chicago show out here in Phoenix was crazy. Like, I know the Bears typically when they play here, which has been maybe about 4 or 5 years, usually is a good showing. But till you see it, the people walking around with Bears paraphernalia on is ridiculous. The game is in Glendale. It's a whole venue called Westgate. They got a whole entertainment district right around the stadium and all this other stuff. But the tailgating and just, they were literally, I don't know, I didn't go to the game. T-Nick was there. We got to see him. Shout out to a couple of people. I had a cousin in the hometown. I had people were flying in from the crib. I'd say, Chicago coming in to see the game.
Yeah.
Crazy show out, bro. You would have thought it was a home game. Dead ass.
Yeah. Well, we travel well anyway. So I'm not really surprised. We travel well. But you say to see it though. To see it.
Yeah, see it live. Like you see the stadium, but like to walk around the venue, the stadium, and to see Bears fans in a non-Bear, like this ain't the Midwest. Was really Well, I'm glad I got to witness that. So thanks. Shout out to our producer today, Antonio, for inviting me and the family out. We had a good time. Watched the game at a local bar, Twin Peaks.
That's what's up.
Soldier Field, but it's like being on Soldier Field, but in the desert, like dead ass. But let's go ahead and break this game down. The Bears did not have a good showing at all in any form or fashion. Me and Antonio talked about it. Like, we were kind of talking about how long can this defense show up and show out week after week after week. It was 13 consecutive weeks of the defense allowing less than 21 points. Obviously, unfortunately, they allowed more than that. And then our concern was, obviously, once the defense can't keep a team under a certain amount of points, can our offense keep up? And the answer was a surrounding and evidently no. Because they scored 9 points. So what? Just give me, since I've been rambling on, go ahead and give me a quick rundown of what you witnessed Sunday.
Oh man, it was pretty much what I expected. It was pretty much what I expected, Coach Chef. To be honest with you, man, I knew the defense eventually was gonna fold, man. I knew they was gonna fold, and then watching the previous game before that, man, number 18 and number 2 not connecting, and not seeing 85 on the field, man. It was pretty much what I expected. It was pretty much what I expected. I predicted them to lose. It was just ugly, man. It was an ugly game. And like I said, for me personally, it felt familiar, man. It was a familiar feeling that I had, and I didn't like that.
The losing was familiar to a team that you felt that you were at least even with talent wise, but other forms are not as even. Quick fun fact.
It wasn't just the losing. It wasn't just the losing, Coach Shep. That's what I'm trying to say, man.
Okay, I understand that.
I'll get into that. Yeah, it wasn't.
No. We're here to get into it because when we want to review this game and then preview the upcoming game, which would be at Soldier Field. The Cardinals had not beat the Bears in Arizona since 1998. Just for those who didn't know,
98.
So, yeah. So let's say they play every 3 to 4 years. They probably play at Arizona every 6 to 7 years. So just for that speed, they are in the same conference, NFC. So yeah, I predicted that they would lose, but I was hoping I'd be wrong, and I was hoping that people would show up. We'll get into that too.
Yeah,
I was hoping that the offense would show up, that the play calling would be better, that bigger plays would be made. We would see some touchdowns, a more competitive game. The game wasn't that competitive. I think the Cards had 16 different players who got at least one pressure on Caleb. We had a lot of injuries. The team in week 8, we had a bye week, so it was week 9, but we had played 8 games. So we're essentially halfway through the season, now 17 games instead of 16. And it looked like the offense has regressed from the previous games that they played versus lesser competition, but still NFL competition. But it does seem as though there's a regression. Do you agree?
I do. Absolutely. And the crazy part about it is like I'm saying it every week. The kid has it. I still say that. Number 18 has it, man. But as far as chemistry, leadership, it goes back to what we talked about. I think it was in about week 3 or 4 when I brought up the C's on the jersey, the captain, C meaning captain for those that don't know, on the jerseys. You know what I mean? And to get that C on the jersey means that you lead by example on that team. You know what I'm saying? It's not because you make the most money, but because that means you're a leader. And in order to be a leader, you have to lead by example. You know what I mean? And 2, I'm calling out both of them. 3, I'm calling out the coach, I'm calling out the quarterback, and I'm calling out receiver number 1. I'm dropping it, and Poles is at the top. You know what I mean? So he's looking down on all this nonsense. man, to have those C's on their jerseys, and to perform like that, you know what I'm saying? It is very disheartening, man, as a Bears fan. You know, check this out, Coach Seth. I was listening to some interviews this week. DJ Moore and Caleb Williams and Waldron. It was pathetic, man. It was simply pathetic. I mean, DJ Moore not being sincere, and you can tell when a man is sincere because when you talk to him, he looks you in his eyes, even though it's a press conference. You get what I'm saying? And so when they asked him the question like, "What's going on?" Well, I don't know. I mean, he's young, and Justin had more reps, and so he's gonna have to figure it out. That's DJ Moore. That's DJ Moore at the presser. Here is Caleb at the presser. I don't know. DJ Moore's got to figure it out. We're gonna connect sooner or later. We're just gonna keep working at it, and we're gonna try to figure it out. Now they asked DJ Moore, why did he walk off the field? He's gonna tell them he had an ankle.
He sprained his ankle.
He had an ankle. Yeah. I had an ankle and I was running the route and I went out of bounds, so I just went to the sideline. No. You come back in and you block. You come back in and block. Of course, you cannot touch the ball first. We know that. Anybody knows football knows that if he runs out of bounds, he cannot come in and make the catch.
First person to touch the ball, right?
So he cannot be the first person to touch the ball, right? But what he can do is he can block. He can go find someone to block.
He can still run to occupy a defender, or something like that.
There you go, Coach.
Yeah,
he crashed out. He crashed out on that one, man. He crashed out on that one, and it's the
body language. It's the body language.
Yeah, man. All of that. I mean, from both of them, you had to hear both of them, and I'm thinking like, this comes from the coach. The accountability, because you put C's on both of their jerseys, and both of them. I mean, from game one, both of them had a C on their jersey, and we talked about this, and you said that the C didn't really matter. It didn't really matter, but it does. It does, because now you have two captains going in two different directions, which you can clearly see. And here's the kicker. Let's just be honest about it. DJ Moore, he has not been getting the targets that he was. Yeah, he hasn't been getting the targets that he was getting with the other quarterback, right?
No, not absolutely.
Caleb Williams has not been getting the protection that he so deserved. But you know what I'm saying? That's on the coach. That's on the general manager, and then just real quickly, man. Where's our tight end, man?
Zero targets.
Where's the
0 targets?
Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll give it to you because I got some stuff. for you, Chef.
That's
go
fine.
ahead.
That's fine. So yeah, there are a lot of aspects of the game that were very displeasing. Definitely, DJ walking off the field. You don't really know if it was an ankle or not, but the body language of it all seems extremely negative. It doesn't.
Yes.
I've been hurt on the play. You kind of give effort unless you're hurt badly. You kind of tweak it, but he essentially gave up. And that's never good.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously a disconnect with him and Caleb, even though 3 weeks ago they connected for 2 touchdowns in London, right? So that's the thing. It was three weeks ago now, excluding the bye week. So yeah, about 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Their connection has regressed. What's going on, Crazy Ace? Thank you for viewing
crazy.
in.
What's going on, man?
Back to the defense, allowing a total of 213 yards on 34 carries and 3 touchdowns. So the thing that I remember telling Crazy Commish, I've kind of said it, or we've kind of aired it out, is the Bears don't look good versus the run, but no team has been able to bear that. Excuse me, I don't want to use that term for other teams. No team has been able to sustain the run game long enough to make the Bears pay by running the ball, and the Cardinals did, because throwing the ball wasn't even a threat for Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. They ran the ball to 200 yards. Then you had essentially a back-breaking touchdown by a third-string running back when they played a pass coverage. I'm not excusing it, but I can see how on the 3rd down and long with less than a minute left in the half, you played more of a pass defense. You kind of bailing guys. But
Mm-hmm.
the angles were not good, and just they were completely off.
Fucking focused.
Not at all.
You were not there. They weren't in position to make that play at all. Obviously you don't like the excuse that excuse me, I almost called that man Nagy. Eberflus made, but none of it was good. And then from there, the Cardinals were like, "Hey, this team's not good burst to run, and we're going to keep running it, and they can't stop it." And then the offense could never get on pace. Like even with the turnover, with the fumble for Marvin Harrison Jr., you can't get points off of turnovers. You need points off of turnovers in this league. I think games are too close to not get points off turnovers. We haven't scored a touchdown in the past almost 6. I want to say 6 quarters. No, so we scored in the fourth quarter of the Washington game, but before we had 2 touchdowns. So you've got 2 touchdowns in 8 quarters of football. The last 2 games,
8 quarters in 8 quarters.
Now, multitude of reasons. Obviously, he's a rookie, blah blah blah, but he's got primetime threats. You can say Keenan Allen is done, but I could also say, why is Keenan Allen running a bunch of vertical routes when he's an intermediate mid-tier, not mid-tier as in talent, but mid-tier route runner, like slants, curls, option routes? Why isn't him and Coca Mesh running a lot of mesh concept where you get these big bodies in motion and let your accurate quarterback in the underneath 10 yards or underneath 15 yards throw the ball? And that to me goes back to play calling. Why are we calling play calls? We've been saying this for Eberflus. We've been saying it with Nagy. We've been saying it the offensive coordinator the past 2-3 seasons, Getsy. Why isn't the play calling fitting the talent on the field? Why can't we get guys who have a particular skill set? Not saying that they can't do other things. Not saying Keenan Allen can't run a corner route or can't run a post. But why don't we see a consistency of players running routes or concepts that fit the talent based on the talent you have? If your quarterback's not great right now, throwing the ball vertically 10, 20 yards downfield, hey, let's get some option routes. Let's pull the defense to stretch them out and open up the middle of the field. Let's get some sideline throws. We was at Twin Peaks with my family and Cricket with his people, and it was a play where it was 2 receivers in 2 parts, like 4 yards apart. Why are 2 receivers running a combo route so close so that multiple defenders or one defender can guard them? The play concepts were not making sense. You can't establish a run because
why?
You're already down points.
Why?
It resembled a clusterfuck.
Yeah. I'll answer that. I'll answer those questions for you. Because let me preface this by saying, first of all, this kid, let's start with number 18. This kid is coming to this league from college, unlike most first round draft choices being a quarterback. Unlike most of them come in with the worst team. If you're a top 5 quarterback, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those teams are bad. Those top 5 teams that you're being drafted to or considered to being drafted to are bad. They're bad. This kid comes in with a roster. With
at best an average roster. Definitely not average, bottom of the barrel talent.
Not best. Bottom of that's my point.
He comes in, so how do you want to say it?
So he has things to work with. So okay, so we can eliminate that being the problem, right? He's just like a Carolina. Like he has a real roster. But we can eliminate that. He has the mindset. I think he has the football IQ to be something. You know what I'm saying? But what I think is happening. That's what I was about to say, Coach. Yeah. What I was about to say is like he is. I'm trying to be nice, man. I'm trying to be nice. He's not being held accountable, and he's not being held accountable because his offensive coordinator is not being held accountable because his head coach is not being held accountable because Flus can override Waldron on some of these plays, man. These play calls. He should be overriding them. Like, wait, what are you doing? No, that's not the play. Don't run that play. And so when he does that, and then you give it to the kid to run the play, and he messes it up. It's not working, right? So now you're looking at each other. Now the kid is looking at the head coach, and the head coach is looking at the offensive coordinator, and they're all looking at each other, looking like, what is this? And that's what I'm feeling right now. Like, what? I'm looking
at nobody.
I'm looking at this like, what is? I'm looking at this like, what is this? You know, and then I'm talking about when your quarterback starts going at the wide receiver, and the wide receiver starts going at the quarterback. Now you have a problem.
Well, we haven't seen that on film.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen that on film, but there's a lot of body language that was
you had to sit. No, Coach Jeff. I'm telling you.
But I will say that receivers and quarterbacks kind of verbally go at it on a day in, day out basis. I don't think that's a abnormal thing, but obviously when you're not doing well, it's going to bring more to life than it would if you were winning or being competitive. So I just want to slightly just move it just a little bit. So the game wasn't good. They allowed over 200 yards rushing. Caleb wasn't very accurate, or wasn't as accurate as we would like based on the things that we were saying. He threw the ball 41 times. He was in the game late. That goes back to coaching. So I want to jump to another part of the game before we take our promos at the midpoint of the and get into this week's game. Coaching. So a lot of people have been calling for Eberflus to be fired. The Bears have never,
not gonna happen.
In my lifetime,
not gonna happen.
They've never fired a coach mid-season. Some people are calling for Eberflus and the OC to be fired. Now,
body bag. Yeah. All right. Hey, do it again.
No.
Thank you, producer. Now,
That's not gonna happen.
I thought about it deeply for the past week.
Mm-mm.
I don't think he should be fired right now. The team is 4-4. This is not hockey. Very seldom do teams mid-season have a coaching turnover and then start winning games and hit the playoffs. So you could say, oh, well, let's get a jump on finding a new coach. You could get a jump finding a new coach now, because all you got to do is just put feelers out and what coaches will be available based on contract, what you look for, offensive coordinator, whatever you're looking for. So you firing a coach has no inkling, or does not precede you not starting to do your own research on your next interviews per se. I don't know. I would semi-lead to some type of maybe offensive coordinator being demoted, or you bring up the running game coordinator of some notion possibly to call plays, but it's still just the midway part of the season. I would probably wait another couple of weeks if I wanted to make a change as far as play calling. So
he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it, Coach. Yeah.
I understand. We both agree that it won't be done. Do me a favor, producer. Can you bring up Crazy Ace's comment or someone's comment about? Let's see. What was the comment? Caleb deserves criticism. Obviously, we said that. Then you said, what do you think about the folks having the longer contract? I'm not really worried about that. The Bears, people call the Bears cheap or whatever, but if he's going to get fired, he's going to get fired. Like, they're going to have to pay. They're not going to run this whole 5-year, 16 whole thing. Williams was overthrown the wrong. DJ Deep Routes.
Played advocate.
Okay. So I think we've been I think it's a bit of both. I mean, Caleb has been inaccurate, but if you don't have confidence in the play calling, we said the same thing with Justin Fields. If you're not having confidence in the play calling, you're not going to perform the play. Like, you can give your effort, but if it's not a play that you feel confident running, how much confidence are you going to be executing said play? Key to the game, run the ball. Yeah, I mean that's predictable. I think that injuries also have not helped, but I think coaching is still a major part of the NFL. And unfortunately, we don't seem to have an upper echelon head coach as far as running an organization from top to bottom.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about his record.
Oh, we already talked about his record. He's 0-7, 0-17, 0-18 on Sunday away games. He's 3-17 away in general. So the only wins he has are either on
3-18
Thursday night or Monday night. 3-18. Like, his only 3 wins are on Thursday or Monday night. He is 0-4 away from Soldier Field, so away he's 0-18. That's crazy. He does have a very solid home record, but you got to win games home and away to be a playoff team or be respected in the league as a coaching staff.
Overall, 14-18 overall record. In these 3 years so far.
You could
14 and 28. 14 and 28.
I
overall.
really think the last 2 years are more of an inkling of what his coaching record is, because whether people agree or not, whether you agree or not, that first year, once Poles got rid of everybody, traded people away, like, you didn't have much talent on this team in Eberflus's first year. You gave away Roquan, you got rid of a pass rusher, you didn't have much of offense. It was Justin and a bunch of assorted toys, or you can call Justin. It was a team of assorted toys. Like, how many of those guys are being impactful? Who ended that season in Eberflus and Poles' first year as a GM and head coach. So, yeah, offensive coordinator. Do you drop him down? Do you make him a coordinator? Do you bring up the what's the name of the other offensive coach?
The running backs coach. Running backs coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thomas.
Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown, former running back at Georgia, was offensive coordinator with the Carolina Panthers. Do you have him call plays?
No.
Why? Why not?
No. Why? Because this season is a wash, man. Why?
Season is a wash.
Why?
In
I said this season is a wash.
That's what I'm saying. I'm asking you a question. So through 8 games and 9 weeks, the season is a wash?
You don't.
So
and
if it's a wash, why wouldn't you make a change?
I'm about to tell you. And the reason you don't, because you don't want to put anything extra on this kid's head when you know that he's going to have to learn a new system next year. You don't. Because any coach, what do I mean? Why would you want him to learn?
It's not a new offense. You're still.
Why would you want him? Not that offense. Why would you? What's the difference?
No, it's the same offense.
What's the difference?
So everyone's running the same offense.
So what would be different besides the coach?
The only thing that would be different would probably be the schematics of play calling succession, like how you call plays would be different. So if you got an OC, a passing game coordinator, a running coordinator, everyone's has the same playbook. You're not changing the play calls. You're not changing anything but the person who calls the plays. 2 people with the same offensive playbook can call a series of plays, and their idea of how plays should be run or formations differently.
And if
you're not changing verbiage,
and if that would work, if that would work, Coach Chef, we wouldn't be in this situation right now, because that's too simplistic. That's so simple.
But it's not simple.
Let me finish. That's so simple that Bozo the Clown could get it. That's so simple that Bozo the Clown could get that concept, and Einstein would miss it. That's just too simplistic. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'll repeat it. It's so simple that Bozo the Clown could get it, and Einstein would miss it. That's what. Why?
No, I
if your running back coach.
Hell no, to the no, hell to the no.
Yeah, I know you never heard that before. Yeah, I know you never heard that one before. But check this out, man. Check this out. Yeah, so I know, Pops. I know, son. I know you got it. What I'm saying is that I know you got it.
You put some money on that. I want to see your receipt when you win money if you taking the Pats by 50, because there's no way in hell the Pats are going to beat them by 50. So Thomas Brown is not the running back coach.
He's trolling.
I know.
He's trolling.
I know who he is. He's the pass game coordinator. So that means that you have nowadays typically you have a coordinator who kind of specifies on passing formations. All you're doing is you're breaking down schematically what formations would work, but it's still the offensive coordinator who has to put the entire game plan. So you would have a group meeting with all the offensive coaches, blah, blah, blah. And just because as the pass game coordinator, you recommend formations or you recommend packages, it doesn't mean that the OC is going to be like, you know what, we're going to use them. The OC still has the overall last choice on, we're going to run these packages. We're going to practice this thing. We're going to run these plays. We're going to implement the game plan, although you have a collaborative idea. So I don't know, maybe for me, if you don't, before you go into these division games, if you have another bad showing offensively versus the Pats right before you play Green Bay home. You have 3 home games. You have the Patriots, Green Bay, and the Vikings. I don't think it hurts anything. The only thing you literally can do is get worse. You can score 0 points. You could be shut out. Then that would just give you an answer about the entire coaching staff.
Hey, check it out. We already had. I mean, let's being realistic. We already have the answer on this coaching staff, man.
Team's still 4-4, still 500.
Yeah, man. And
you
so
are what
how
your
many
record
games
is.
how many games do you see them winning? Going forward,
I'm consistent with my message. I had them winning 9 games. I had them going 9-7. I had them going 9-7. You laugh, but we're 4-4. So, because I could ask you, what did you have to?
Oh man, that's funny, team, man. That's funny.
Let's be logical about this. How many did you have the Chiefs being undefeated at this point of the season?
I don't pay attention to the Chiefs, man.
Did you have the Lions being undefeated at this point of the season? Did you have the Vikings being the record that they are?
I did not.
So exactly, we don't.
I had the Packers where they're at. I didn't have the Lions. I knew the Lions were going to be good. I didn't think they were going to be this good.
Exactly.
So
the
AFC,
things can change.
I don't really pay attention to the AFC.
I'm just saying in general.
It's not.
Vikings are 6-2. I didn't think the Vikings would be 6-2 for 8 games.
When you have a good organization, and that starts at the top. When you have a good organization, good head coaches, good general manager, good head coaches, players that listen. Yeah, you can change. This organization is in disarray. This organization, my organization, my team is in disarray. It's in total disarray, man. And it starts from the top. It started when polls, like now we're going on 3 years.
We've already covered that.
We didn't. We didn't cover that. We cover that. We didn't cover that.
We cover it every week about talking about the organization.
Then if nothing changes, if we covered it, if nothing changes,
what do you mean
nothing changes?
He's been a GM for 3 years. So it changed because he was not here 3 years ago. We were as from the organization in general, we were actually worse 3 years ago prior to we are now as far as talent and draft picks.
3 years ago, we were the same. We were at the same place with the O-line. 3 years ago, whether Poles was here or not. 3 years ago, we needed an offensive line.
Talent,
2 years ago,
receivers,
2 years
running
ago,
backs, defensive talent.
Take it. What good does it make? What good does it make to have wide receivers and running back? And don't give me as far as running backs.
I'm just asking,
man.
You said we're in the same spot.
First of all, let's go back.
You said we're in the same spot.
We are. First of all, we got rid of Montgomery.
So we had 3 top-tier running backs.
We didn't want to pay him. We didn't want to pay him. We got rid of Montgomery. Receivers, I can't even tell. I can't tell. On paper, yeah. When you say DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, who else is it? Who is Rome? On paper, yeah, they look good. On paper, on the field, on the field, it's a whole different matter, man. It's a whole different matter. This
is what we're going to do. We're about halfway through the show. We're going to pay some bills, and then we're going to get into the game versus the Patriots.
Yeah,
Take it away,
do that, man.
Producer.
Standards prevailed, when excellent craftsmanship was displayed and treated with the utmost importance. Acquire the crisp, refreshing taste of Moore's Beer. Moore's Beer. Raise your standards.
Oh, okay. We're short today. I thought we had a couple more. So thank you. Shout out to End Zone and also shout out to Moore's Beer for being our sponsors. If I'm not mistaken, we also have to sponsor a couple more, but that's what we have today. So let's just go ahead, since we're going to move on to pre-gaming or previewing today's home game versus the Patriots. The Patriots, AFC East, they are not very good, obviously. Oh, crap. Doggone, man. Technology is a benefit and a failure at the same time. I literally just had the Patriots record, and I no longer
2-4.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Patriots are 2-4. They have a new head coach. They have a new head. They also have a new quarterback. They are not good. Man, yeah, 2-4. They've only scored. Oh man, they had a plus minus of 76 points. So they're not making a good showing, but their quarterback looks solid. I guess the new rookie quarterback. They've got to win in the same draft as Caleb. He's looking somewhat better. Their last couple games, they lost to overtime to the Titans. They did beat the Jets 2 weeks ago, and then they lost to Jaguars in England 32-16. Quick rundown. They had a pretty solid running back, and Stevenson.
Stop trolling, man.
We got Gibson. Was his son?
Stop trolling, Trey.
Good. No, hey, Trey, drop a like this video.
He already is. Subscribe.
Targets receptions. They don't have a lot of offensive power. What I would see. I mean, it's the NFL, so guys are going to make plays regardless. But hold up, let me check this crazy. The Bears have won by scoring 24-7, 24-17, 24-18, 30-16, 35, 16. Williams has completed blah, blah, blah. Yes, he's looked good. Now, I will say earlier in the season, we did have those games versus the Jaguars and the Panthers, which weren't very good teams, although the Panthers did win last week. But I always say it's the NFL, man, any given Sunday. It's the reason why there's only a handful of teams who are actually undefeated. And there's only been 2 teams in the history of the NFL in modern football who've gone undefeated the entire season. So what do you see is our biggest – what puts us over beating the Patriots this week? Offense, defense. Are we going to say coaching? Does Eberflus have a coaching advantage over Gerard Mayo?
First, I don't believe Eberflus has a coaching advantage over any team we play. Let's start there. I think in order for us to beat, hey man, I think in order for us to beat the Patriots, it's going to start with that defense, man. It's going to start with defense.
I would agree.
Again, and it's going to start with the defense. Front 4. I think that we, and as far as offense goes, in order to win this game, just like the last 3 games, this game we have to get out in front early. And I believe that if we can get out early, and put some points on the board early, like in that first quarter, that first or that second possession, I believe that the defense will step up and bring it home for us. You know what I mean? We have to put some points on the board early.
Most definitely, and that's been the thing we've said all year. The Bears are still, I think, in the bottom third or bottom quarter of the league as far as first quarter points.
Yeah.
The Patriots are not good defense. Well, they're not really good defensively. They're 24th in yards allowed. They're 21st in points allowed. They are 22nd in passing yards allowed, and they are 26th rushing in rushing yards allowed. So once again, we said it when we played the Commanders, and we said it last week that these last 3 teams, including the Patriots, they're not very good before you get into your division play. You've got to take advantage of the teams that statistically and talent-wise are supposed to be lesser than you by doing what? By executing. Executing starts with what we talked about right before we went to the our promotional break. Starts with coaching. Like, you've got to stay disciplined. You've got to, whatever you're being coached to do, you've got to do that. The coaches have got to coach the right things, obviously, because there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to score on this team at home. I mean, as it stands, the Eberflus is better at home, so you would think that they have an advantage. I mean, they are. We'll get into that later. Betting wise, they are minus 6.5. As far as the point spread, so they are a generous favorite, more typical than 3.5 points. So, Drake May or Caleb Williams, who do you take? Who do you think is playing better right now?
Right now, May.
Okay, I agree.
Take May. right now.
Okay,
Right now, yeah.
Right now, Ramondre Stevenson is the starting running back essentially for the Patriots, but I would say minus last week's game where the game got away from you and you got away from the running game. I think that Swift was actually the past 4 weeks after his first 3 weeks, past 4 weeks was playing outstanding. I think he would have been top 5 in total yardage for all running backs in the league from after week 4 until literally last week. He's been playing extremely well. He's put together multiple 100-yard combined yardage games. He scored, I think, a touchdown almost every game up until last week. So, what do you think? What do you think the running game, the advantage for the running game?
At a run game, man, I'm disheartened. Actually, Swift is doing what they're forcing him to do. They're forcing him to run in between the tackles. They don't want to. The Bears have always had a 2-back system. You know what I'm saying? I mean, preface it by saying that we've always had a 2-back system. We've always had that slasher. You know what I mean? The one that we use for RPOs, and then we had that downhill runner, which we used to run between the tackles. Well, once they got Swift, you know what I'm saying? Once they got Swift in free agency, you know what I'm saying? Man, we forcing them down our throats, man. You know what I'm saying? You forcing them.
I mean,
you forcing him to run in between the tackles.
He's recovered yardage wise. He's recovered yardage wise.
Check it out. So why?
He didn't accumulate. He didn't even accumulate 100 yards in the first 3 games. Since then, he's got 500 total yards. He went from a historically bad, I think, less than 2 yards a carry in the first 3 weeks to averaging 4 yards a carry. So he's performing.
So when
well.
When do we cut Rojo? When do we cut Rashawn Johnson? Because that's what I'm saying. You're not playing him. You're not playing him. We have to back the only
short
running
yardage
one.
And goal line.
It doesn't make sense.
Short yardage and goal line running back.
Man, that makes no sense. That makes as much sense as giving up Khalil Herbert for 7 round.
That makes that much sense. Telling
you
makes the same sense. What makes sense? I'm asking you, which running game do you trust more?
I'm telling you, the Patriots. After watching the Bears front 4, absolutely. Last week, after watching that defense that you said was stout against the run, after watching that debacle
I didn't say
last
they were
week,
stout. I didn't say they were stout versus the run.
Yes, you did.
I've never said
you said
that.
They were stout. You said they were stout. It was 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't say that at all. I've never said that.
And you said it started. And you said it started with the nose tackle. And I said no. No. Yeah, you did. I said we need a nose tackle. You said
I said no team has consistently run the ball versus the Bears because the Bears are not good versus the run in the first half. But a team stuck with it. We said it last week.
And then I said they need a nose tackle. They need a DT. Exactly.
We need another one because ours is unfortunately out for the season. So receivers.
They needed one before he got hurt.
So when we talk about receiving game, I would give it to the Bears. I think we have more talented receivers and tight ends if we use them properly. I don't think the Patriots have a very highly talented receiving core. Tight ends, they've got Hunter Henry or whatnot. But I would give that to the Bears. I mean, obviously, pass calling is big, but I think we have more talent receiving wise. I think obviously they have a better offensive line at this point, even though they've got Drake May running all over the world, and they had Brisker running all over the world. So I don't think either line right now is playing outstanding. Not to mention, do we have a commish? Do you know if the second-year player from Tennessee, our right tackle, is playing today, or are we jumbling that O line again?
Darnell Wright is out.
So we've got another.
Yeah, he's out.
We've got another. Once again, the thing that I've been saying for the past 7 to 10 years is that our offensive line cannot be consistent with consecutive starts as a group. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Projected starting offensive line for the Bears. What's the projection here? I know Amagaji's out. I think Braxton Jones is out. So this is old. So if Darnell Wright's out, do we move Pryor to right guard? Shelton's back. Tevin Jenkins, Larry Bowman's going to be a left guard.
Jenkins is out. Jenkins is out also. So Darnell Wright, Tevin Jenkins. Yeah, and Jones. And Jones.
Man.
3.
So has anybody been brought up from the practice squad? I mean, what's the O line going to look like today? Who's playing tackle and right tackle? Is it going to be Pryor? They're going to bump him over and bring back.
They brought up somebody from the practice squad, and then they signed a DB. They also signed a DB.
Well, I know they signed some people to the practice squad. I was trying to get a better idea on projections.
No, I'm talking about
that
playing.
O-line. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so okay, right. I remember Bates. Thank you. Bates probably be going to right guard, and you probably move Pryor to right tackle. You got Shelton at center. Or do you bring Davis back and make him play right guard? Then you move Shelton or you move Bates to left guard, and you have Bourne, which means that the only starting offensive lineman from week 1 will be Shelton. Did Shelton even start week 1? And that's a whole nother conundrum. We talked about the inconsistency with the offensive line. So I would definitely.
So what did that start
to the Patriots?
Where did that start?
Well, injuries. I don't mean.
No. I don't. The line. Who put that line together?
Your GM and your head coach.
Okay, just checking.
I don't know what the other options you have as far as backups go. I don't know what backups are roaming. Guys are walking on the street to be certified backups. You got your rookie out, Amagaji again. So, I mean, once again, just the inconsistency. You know what? Here's the real question I've been asking for years. How good is the training staff of the Bears? Where are they rated in the NFL? Because we typically have the same guys consistently always injured with the same. I mean, it's football, so guys get injured.
Yeah,
guys get injured all the time.
Coach Shep, they have to be.
When they do these,
they have to be rated they have to be in the 30s, man. I mean, at least a 28 out of 32. They have to be, man, because these same guys, just like you said, every year have been getting hurt. You know, it's either that or it's physical reps that they're not getting. You know,
that's a league. I think that's a league-wide thing. One really. Well, they've got a couple standouts on the Patriots. I know the Patriots don't have a lot of turnovers. They've only had 5 interceptions this year. Excuse me, and they have recovered a lot of fumbles. Most of that is offensive, actually, but they're not really rated highly in a lot of things. So, I mean,
who's winning
the Bears
the game?
are a -6.5. The turnover factor. What's turnovers? They rank 28th in turnovers. Holy crap. Yeah, the Patriots are not a good team overall. Thank you. I appreciate that. I can't type fast enough to keep up with me looking at the screen. I appreciate that, Crazy Ace. Got to work on getting my laptop together. Bates, Bourne. Oh, man. Jake. Oh, boy.
Pryor and Sheldon at center, huh?
Yeah, well, we're going to see. That means
these are all guys. These are all guys that Poles. These are all guys that Poles picked, drafted. These are all guys that Poles drafted. And Poles being an offensive lineman, former offensive lineman himself.
None of those guys were drafted except for Borum.
No,
none of the.
No,
put that comment back up.
Braxton Jones.
There was one guy drafted
Braxton Jones.
Larry
Braxton Jones. Darnell Wright, Braxton Jones.
None of those guys
Tevin Jenkins.
That's on the field right now.
Larry Bourne is the only draft pick starting today. All
those guys are free agent signings. The list of starting linemen today, none of them are draft picks except for Larry Bourne. The guys who are starting today.
Guys that are starting today are free agents.
All of them except for Larry Bourne. Larry Bourne was a draft pick. He was actually drafted the year before they drafted.
That's what I thought. And Darnell Wright, Braxton Jones, Darnell
drafted,
Wright,
yes.
Tevin Jenkins, all drafted, correct?
So
how many
injuries on draft
those?
We drafting injuries?
Man, come on. If they can't stay on the field, they can't stay on the field. I'm saying that he's drafting bums. He's drafting bums.
Relatively heavy.
What part don't you understand? He's drafting guys that can't stay on the field.
But what you're saying is it not really correlating to what I was asking you.
You said you didn't understand.
Because you said they were drafted. I said I asked a specific question.
He's drafting guys that can't stay on the field.
Today? So that's another breakdown between who you bring in. But then again, not many teams are going to survive when you're playing your second string lineman regardless. No matter what team you are in the league, if the Lions and the Chiefs had to start their second string off the line, they wouldn't be very good either. So that's what it is. So let's go ahead and jump, since we're getting to the end of this hour for the pregame show. Betting line: Patriots are the underdog by 6.5. Chicago's at home, so they are the favorite, and the over/under is 35.5.
38.
So
38 and a half.
I'm sorry, 38 and a half. 38 and a half. I think Chicago is minus 105, and then for the 275 as far as
Chicago was minus 110, bro. Chicago was minus 110.
I checked it for the show.
As of this morning.
You said 105. Said 105. I just to show you what I got. They were minus 105 and then 275 for the money line, and the over under, you're right, it's 35.5. So what you got? What you got? If you chose, I wouldn't bet on this game at all. I wouldn't touch this motherfucking game.
I wouldn't touch this, coach. I wouldn't touch this, man.
Yeah.
This one. This one right here, man, is like,
especially for the past 2 weeks. I think we took them 2 weeks ago, and we were shot with the over. We were shot with the favorite versus Washington.
All that, man.
We didn't hit anything.
This
I
one
would
is a
stay
trap
away from this.
for sure.
Yeah, I would stay away from this. I would stay away from
this.
If anything, I might take the Patriots plus 6.5, only for the fact that it might be a closer game.
Yeah.
So it might take the Patriots plus 6.5. I wouldn't touch the over on the. I don't know. It's been bad.
I wouldn't.
It's been bad.
I'm looking at this. I wouldn't touch any of this, man. Like I said,
I would
maybe
do
the
parlays.
Patriots. Maybe. Yeah.
6.5, and all my parlays would be like prop bets, like yardage, passing yardage, running yardage, and I was kind of So we definitely agree on that. I wouldn't touch this if I was a betting man with any type of money, except I definitely might give you the plus 6.5, because I think it'll be closer than 6.5, but we don't know because we've been fucking wrong the past 2 weeks. So let's get some predictions in. Go ahead, give us your prediction down in the comments. What you got on predictions of score today? And producer, give us all. Producer gave us all. 24-13.
Patriots 24-13. Okay.
What you got?
Crazy got the Bears 21-10. 21-10. I'm sorry.
What you got? Amp, what you got on your prediction score wise?
I got Patriots 21-14.
21-14. I mean, if you took the money, you did. You would definitely win if you took the plus 6.5.
Yeah.
Oh man, the points. Oh man, how's the weather at home right now? Is it nice?
It's nice. It's sunny. It's sunny in the 50s. So 50s? On the lake, it's gonna be about
probably in the 50s.
Dry.
Still.
It's dry.
Okay. Based on where it's trending, it's probably gonna be low scoring. 17-13 Bears.
17-13.
17-13 Bears. I don't know. They've scored 2 touchdowns in two games. They've got 2 touchdowns in 8 quarters of football. I think that we definitely
Coach.
We definitely could keep Patriots from scoring, because their offense has just shown that they are a powerhouse scoring wise. So that's what I would go. I would go in that aspect. I think the last time the Patriots scored 30 points they haven't scored 30 points at all. In fact, their season high for points scored this season is 25 when they played the Jets, and when they beat the Jets 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
that part
they
right
have
there.
They have allowed 30 points or more 3 times this season. They allowed 30 points versus San Francisco. They allowed 41 to Houston, 32 to the Jags. 30 points 3 times. Yeah. So they do give up points. They've only allowed less than 20 points to 2 teams this year. They beat they lost to the Dolphins 15-10. That's when Tua was out. And they also lost their opening of them. Sorry, they won the last also, excuse me, I'm stuttering. They outscored the Bengals 16-10 in week 1, but that was a long time ago because the Bengals look better, even though they did just lose to the Ravens. So yeah, just want to give a quick rundown to our other NFC North compadres and see how they're looking. The they're looking good. Obviously, everyone is looking good for except us right now.
Like world beaters, except the Packers. Packers are
Right,
suspect.
the Packers did just lose. Detroit is no joke. Detroit is 7-1. The Packers are, I think they're 5. No, they're 6-3. So I mean, they did lose, but they're still 6-3. They're 2. They're 3 games over 500, and the Vikings are also 6-2. So everyone is at 6 wins or better, except for the Bears. I think obviously the Bears need to win. I know the Bears don't fire coaches at half, but if the Bears come out and lay a goose egg, they need to get rid of Eberflus Monday, tomorrow. Yeah. But they're not going to do it.
That sounds great. Yeah, I was just about to say, Coach Jeff. That sounds great. But the Bears,
that means you've had offensive ineptitude the majority of the games this year. If you take away the Jaguars game and you take away the Panthers game, I meant the Rams game, but the Rams, they had so many injuries that week that they essentially were playing with a bunch of backups besides the starting quarterback. The Bears have had offensive ineptitude week 1, week 2, week 3, and then this week. 24 versus the Rams, 36 and 35 versus the Panthers and Jags, and then 15 and 9 points the last 2 weeks. They look inept. So something offensively has to change. Either you got to change the play caller or you got to get rid of the head coach to bring in some type of interim coach from within to finish out the season and look for another head coach, because you can't there's too much talent on this team, and based on Hard Knocks about it's time to win. There's too much talent on this team to lay another goose egg. And I'm not meaning literally not scoring, but to come out and
that's what I was trying
to
say, Coach Jeff. That's what I was trying to say. Like, I have this familiar feeling. You know what I'm saying? I felt this before, man. This team is imploding right before our very eyes, man. It is imploding.
Crazy Aces is out of here. Thank you, Crazy.
All right, Crazy.
I got to highlight you soon, my man. Is your son? Shout out to Ravens.
No, son.
Shout out to Ravens.
We're not talking about Ravens, man. We're not.
Wrong show.
Yeah. I got it like the coaches, man. It's coaching.
So what I would do is I want to shout out to everybody who tuned in today. Thank you for our under the weather producer, Crooked Commish. Make sure to check out his show tomorrow on Monday. Thank you to everybody who chimed in. Crazy Ace. I know I saw comments from your son. Shout out your son. Shout out to who else? I think thanks you to the Clubhouse for chiming in. Thank you to everybody.
Viewer.
Yeah, thank you to everybody.
Everyone that
tuned in. Short show today. Make sure if you tuned in, please. Oh, Crazy, no show tomorrow? Okay, Crazy's not doing the show tomorrow. I'm sorry. Crooked is not doing the show tomorrow. That's unfortunate. He is under the weather, but thank you for producing this show. Shout out to everybody. Please remember to like and subscribe to the show, like and subscribe to the network, because when you subscribe to the network, you'll get notifications of when all our shows debut, when they're coming up soon, notifications. And hit us with the HBO special. Hit us with a Help a Brother Out special. Just hit the like. Let's hit the algorithm up. Thank you for the views. Thank you, Amp. Once again, it's always beautiful going back and forth with you. We've got to have a show where we can get a little more time. We've got to get a show where we can get a little more than an hour, so we can snap
I enjoy it. You know I enjoy it, man.
All day. We can do this all day, man. All day long, and I love it.
All day, bro. Bro.
In closing, I would like to say thank you all. Crooked, I know you got something for the closing right before we head completely out. What's up, Chris? He ain't got it? Well, I bid everyone adieu. Peace and blessings to everybody. See you all next time. And go Bears. I'm not even going to do it. I'm going to say bear down.
Bear down.
I ain't going to do that.
Go ahead and go.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
I ain't doing that because
And now it's all over.
I'm not doing it.